Gervonta Tank Davis versus Ryan Garcia. King Ryan. Both fighters have expressed interest in wanting this fight. So what's the problem? Oscar De La Hoya is scared. I said it. I'm going to tell you why I've came to that conclusion and more right now. Intro. All right, guys, welcome back to Championship Rounds. This is the Champ Chat 6. Subject matter today is the potential bout between Gervonta Tank Davis and King Ryan Garcia. Before I jump into this, guys, as always, like, share, comment, subscribe, and make sure you hit that notification so you never miss a drop. All right. So let's get right into this. Let's not waste any time. Gervonta Davis versus Ryan Garcia. Both fighters want the fight. We'll start with the first point. Ryan constantly calling out Davis.
I'm not going back down to 135 for nothing, but I will fight Tank next. That I have a spirit of competition in me, and you're going to see that come out when I fight Tank and whoop his ass.
Now, obviously, Ryan wants this fight. I mean, he's making it obvious. He's telling everybody that will listen, or everybody that sticks a camera or a microphone into his face, that he wants the Gervonta Davis fight. Well, apparently, the Davis camp has already tried to make this fight.
Saw the back and forth between yourself and Ryan after your fight. What did you make of his comments that he made to you and to Floyd?
Yeah, Instagram fighter. We don't worry about him. YouTuber, yeah. He's a pretty girl. That's what he is. He just talk.
Thanks for that great performance.
We tried, hold on. I don't know what he said, but we tried to make this fight. For those that don't know, we tried to make this fight before. The kid Ryan Garcia. We tried to make the fight. He chose. What happened, Leonard? You know. Get a whole breakdown.
Yeah. I tried to make the fight, and they didn't want to fight. Bottom line. Say it again? Yeah, exactly.
He said that I guess he was going to do an exhibition with Pacquiao instead of fight. You know, you get to do an exhibition when you retire. So you can't be doing an exhibition when you're young and active. Real fights.
Yes, Tank Davis's camp already tried to make this fight. And as you just saw Leonard Ellerby say, they don't want to fight. They don't want to fight. Yes, when they put this fight on the table for Golden Boy Promotions, if you will, Golden Boy was pushing for an exhibition match between Manny Pacquiao. So, what does that tell you? Obviously, they don't want to fight. What is there to an exhibition match? A match where you can make some money, but the results don't matter. It's an exhibition. There's no winner or loser. So if Ryan were to get that fight, that means he would probably been defeated by Manny Pacquiao. I mean, we'll never know because the fight didn't materialize, but he would have been defeated by Manny Pacquiao potentially, and no blemish would have been put on his record. He'd still be undefeated, and he could say, "Oh, that was Manny Pacquiao. It was an exhibition." There could be any narrative formed from that. That is all a part of Oscar De La Hoya being afraid. And I'm going to get deeper into that before I'm done here. Sorry for the stutter. But let's see. If you stick a camera in Oscar De La Hoya's face, he's saying everything you want to hear.
In terms of this Gervonta fight, I read a thing that Ryan has contract with you guys, but not with DAZN. So how do you guys navigate to make that fight with Gervonta?
No, look, we promote Ryan, and we have a contract with DAZN. That's the bottom line.
So then, how does the fight get made? In
the way Bob Arum made Tyson Fury with Fox and ESPN, and that's just the way it gets made. It can be done, no doubt about it.
How confident are you that it does get done and it doesn't get bogged down?
Yeah, I'm confident. I'm more than confident. We want the fight. That's the bottom line. We want the fight.
We want this fight. We want this fight. Tank is next. We can get it done. A lot was made about the different TV deals and how one fighter is with PBC, Mayweather Promotions, if you will. The other one is with Golden Boy. De La Hoya even had an answer for that. You can say what you want in the media. You can put out whatever narrative you want to put out. But behind the scenes, when you're making negotiations to get the fight done, that's where you can really see who wants it and who doesn't. If one side is asking for unreasonable money or stipulations in the fight that they know aren't realistically going to be accepted by the other side, that is their way of not making the fight happen and saving face.
The main man in the sport of boxing right now is the one that's attached to me, Gervonta Tank Davis. That's the only thing. This kid Ryan Garcia, that's the only thing that he knows is Tank. That's the only name that he knows is Tank, right? So he said, "Oh, I want to fight Tank. I don't care. It's the biggest fight." Okay, you want to fight Tank? You know, in boxing we make sacrifices. So we know Tank fight at 135. So if you want to fight Tank at 135, we can make it happen before the end of the year.
Well, I know they're talking about moving up to 140.
Absolutely not.
Oh, we tried to make the fight. You know, I don't want to say that Oscar's not doing his job per se, because it's his job to get Ryan the best fights for Ryan and to get the most money for said fights. But if Ryan Garcia was completely happy with Golden Boy Promotions, why did he say, "Fuck Golden Boy, we'll get this done," to Leonard Ellerbe after Gervonta Tank Davis separated Rolly Romero from consciousness? Obviously, Ryan really wants to get this fight done, to repeat what I've already said, but the fight's not getting done. Oscar De La Hoya is fucking scared. He's scared. Oscar wants to use Ryan to make as much money for him for as long as he possibly can. He's not ready to cash Ryan Garcia out, because that's exactly what it would be. I mean, newsflash, people. Yes, Ryan Garcia defeated Luke Campbell. But did you see Luke Campbell sit Ryan Garcia on his ass? Set him right on his ass. If Luke Campbell can sit Ryan Garcia down like he did, Gervonta Davis, whom is a higher caliber boxer by far than that of Luke Campbell, would send Ryan Garcia to the land of fucking wind and ghosts.
Yep, he's dead.
And that's just facts. Oscar knows it, the fans know it, and obviously I know it. Do you? Do you know it? Hopefully you do. But obviously, that's all hypothetical because they would both have to get in there and fight. Now, another reason why De La Hoya is obviously scared to me, because he's pushing a narrative that is complete bullshit. He recently did an interview with Fight Hype and said that both sides are the A side.
You know, as a promoter now, I can see it from the outside in. Like, okay, who should be able to dictate negotiations, who should be able to make the fights happen. Mm-hmm. And you know what's happening now in boxing is that there's so many fighters today that are filling up arenas, that have their own fan bases. Social media is just bringing the world together, and just creating like this global fan base for fighters like Ryan Garcia, Gervonta Davis, mm-hmm. Mayweather, who's still fighting. You got Jake Paul and all these guys. They're the A sides. They're the fighters who can dictate and call the shots. So when we talk about our Gervonta Davis Ryan Garcia fight, it shouldn't be that tricky to make. But since you have two guys that are A side, it's gonna be a little back and forth. I know Floyd promotes Gervonta Davis. I promote Ryan Garcia. So it's just a matter of just talking it out and figuring out, okay, who deserves a few extra points, who deserves a few less. Let's give and take. It's all about just it's all about just being fair, basically. Because mm-hmm. both guys sell, both guys are have a name. They both can sell pay-per-views. Even though Ryan hasn't fought on pay-per-view, they both can sell arenas, and so they're the draws. So it's not tricky to make, but it can be a little complicated.
Okay, so Oscar thinks because Ryan Garcia has 9 million followers on Instagram to Tank Davis's, what has he got? 3.7 million on Instagram, that Ryan is the A side. That's all he has to bargain with. Ryan hasn't been on pay-per-view. Ryan hasn't fought for any world titles. He'll trot him around with belts over his shoulder. I'm going to put one over this shoulder. I'm going to put one on the other shoulder.
You will keep the featherweight belt up until this fight.
I'm going to wrap one on one shoulder. I'm going to wrap the other on the other shoulder. And you're going to need a fucking army to come take them belts off me.
Yeah, Conor McGregor style. But he's not a world champion. That's the difference. So he looks the part. He's got the undefeated record. Good-looking guy. And he's got a large fan base. So what's the problem? In a lot of circumstances, he would be the A side. But why isn't he the A side? Because Ryan Garcia fans are casual fans. And a lot of people say, oh, well, the biggest fights happen when fighters and fights can break in through to the casual fans because the hardcore fans are going to show up either way. Well, there lies the rub. Ryan Garcia's fans are casual fans that don't really care about boxing. They just don't. And the hardcore fans don't take Ryan Garcia seriously. They'd rather watch fighters they do take seriously. So that's why Ryan Garcia is not on pay-per-view. You know who is on pay-per-view? Gervonta Tank Davis. And he's doing pretty well on pay-per-view. You saw he had the biggest gate at the Barclays Center, a venue that the UFC has been cleaning up at. Big fights. Gervonta Davis holds that distinguishment to this day.
To this day! To this day! You just sit here and you don't know what I'm talking about? Man, I'm out of here, bro. Let's go. Come on, let's go, man.
To borrow from Deontay Wilder. Sorry about that. Anyhow, so De La Hoya, no, Ryan Garcia is not the A side. And De La Hoya knows that Ryan Garcia got set on that ass. De La Hoya is not ready to cash Ryan Garcia in just yet. Because he knows if what I'm predicting to happen happens, that's the biggest fight that Garcia is probably ever going to get. The hype train will be officially derailed. Yes, Derailed. So, I want to make money off of a potential Pacquiao fight. Didn't happen. I want to fight Fortuna. Fortuna, much respect to him. But his best fights were behind him. That's just the fight game. That's the fight game. His best years are behind him, not to mention he wasn't some type of killer coming in anyways. Ryan Garcia, most of his opponents don't even have a Wikipedia page. Nobody even cares enough to make one for him. Gervonta Davis is the star here, people. Gervonta Davis is the one bringing out the stars. The Hollywood stars, the sports stars. He's the one filling up the venues, the larger venues. And again, he's on pay-per-view. He's with Mayweather Promotions. He's got that whole aura behind him. Fans that don't like Floyd Mayweather are showing up to watch Gervonta Davis fight, hoping he loses, so hopefully that'll fall back on Floyd. They'll feel like Floyd lost. See how silly that is? But that's the point. When you have the fans in your pocket to where they either love or hate you, that's where the money is. That's where the blockbuster fights happen. When the fans don't care, that's when you don't make money. Why don't you think great boxers like Devin Haney are great pay-per-view stars? Amazing boxer Devin Haney is. But he doesn't have the fan base intrigued to want to not miss his fights. Gervonta Davis has that aura around him where you don't want to miss his fights because somebody is going down. The man damn near knocks out everybody. Guys, tell me what you think about these fights, or this fight rather, in the comments. Do you agree with me that Oscar De La Hoya is the one that's holding back this fight? Who do you got winning this fight? Let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching. And until next time, as always, stay frosty.